Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give all the powers to chant. Jah give all the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice. Bigger.
Well, from to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you gotten your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety, and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative, and very historical, right?
Them call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Rastafari. The lion break the chain, beat not, don't cry. Them call him Rastafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England.
I wanna try something new. We have so much great things to report for this year. We're moving into 2016 via the Ethiopian calendar. So we're very excited, and I wanted to do a State of the Union type episode where we just look at the year in review, look at some of the achievements. We're going to break it up into sections, and we're going to, just celebrate or celebrate with the Lion Pride and the Lion Pride on Patreon. If you're new to this channel, if you want to become part of the Lion Pride, if you subscribe, you are part of the Lion Pride right there, problem solved. We are also making efforts. We're doing a campaign currently to increase our Patreon. Right now we only have 3 patrons, and for those who are not familiar with Patreon, Patreon is a platform that allows people who support the work that you do to contribute financially. Doing this work at the rate that we're doing it, uploading 2 pieces of content pretty much every day, comes with great sacrifice, particularly because I are the editor, the talent, the everything in the video. So we really appreciate love for the Lion's Pride. You all have been giving us tremendous support in the comment section. I couldn't be more pleased. We used to get 1 or 2 comments every strong. The comments come in now every day across the platform. So we know that this channel is making an impact in many people's lives across the globe. So we just ask, if possible, because we know it's Armageddon, we know it's hard time, but if possible, join us, the Lion Pride on Patreon. Help us to support the platform. We want to see 1,000 people in that platform by this State of the Union address next year. I want to be able to come forward next year on the Ethiopian New Year just to report that we have made a successful victory. You may have heard the opening song. Typically I use my own music to do the opening. This episode is special. I tell everyone my superpower is the network, and this is no different. We want to just thank Warrior King, reggae artist who well known to everyone. His song Ethiopia has been an inspiration. We decided we were going to use that song, and we reasoned with the brethren, and the brethren has sent us a New Year message and blessing that we're going to play. So I want to just share that, because as the channel grows, the network starts to reach out. The network is tapping in to let I know, listen, I'm watching. And even though we are now 1,500 strong, within that 1,500 there are some powerful ones quietly watching, because as I said, the network is powerful. We have not even tapped into 1% of the network, so don't feel the way you're seeing all the interviews and people are commenting, boy, give thanks, but this is just the beginning. So before we go any further, I want to just play a special New Year message from my and I brethren, Warrior King. Warrior King, please come talk to the Lion Pride and Patreon blessing.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I and his chosen queen and our royal goddess, Empress Wazira Menin. This is Warrior King, and today we are praying for peace for our Ethiopian family and this new year. It's now 2016, according to the Ethiopian calendar, and it's time for all of us to live as one and work together to rise the African continent beyond even its ancient glory. Big up all the lions and the lionesses that are now telling their story. Maximum respect to Lion's Voice, the voice of Rastafari, the voice of the people. And do remember to like, subscribe and share so we can expand the movement. And I'm calling on all sons and daughters from the ends of the earth. The great time is now for organization, centralization and black international repatriation. And remember, the time is now, the time has come for lions and lionesses to tell your own story. And remember, this is the Lion's Voice. Happy New Year, Rastafari. This is Warrior King. Ethiopia, a land where the gods and the goddess love to be. Today it's so painful to see. We're destroying our great unity. Sons and daughters of Sheba, children of Abyssinia, could share the pride of Africa and the world all over. The time is now. Rastafari. This is the Lion's Voice. Big up.
So that was a clip from reggae artist Warrior King. He also supplying the soundtrack for this Ethiopian New Year episode. So we're praying that the item are full joy, the vibes. Again, this is just the beginning. I have to big up Elder Horace Fullwood, who is one of the jegnas of Warrior King. One of the first elders that really helped guide I brethren Warrior King on him journey, and one of the first elders to really give I feed forward on the book, read the book, loved the book, and Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, and read it, I think a couple of times, and shared with I how he learned so much from reading the book. I was reasoning with I brethren Warrior King, and he showed I that the elder watches the Lion Voice Network without fail, so quietly. So to know that these elders are supporting the platform, it makes my heart full. So I have to big up the elder and just say salute and give thanks to all of the elders. And that's why I say, even though we're 1,500 strong plus, there are so many giants within Rastafari, within the Pan-African community, within the music industry, that I have built relationships that quietly watch the platform. And that's what I tell people: when you come on this platform, don't watch the number of people. It's the quality of people who are a part of the Lion Pride that gives my heart joy. Yes, the mass will come, but in the meantime, again, we give thanks for those who have been supporting the Lion Pride. I purposely have not tapped into the artist contacts as of yet, but we have them. So you'll see those coming in slowly over time on the channel. But one of the reasons we have not tapped the artist part, because remember, I'm a creative industry attorney. I am also one of the founders of the Jamaica Music Conference. I'm in that world. I'm a music executive via my work with the Jamaica Music Conference. However, because Rastafari to the world, is branded primarily through reggae music. We talk about the Reggae Mansion and reggae being, one of the principal PR vehicles of the movement, for good or for bad. I have stayed away from tapping into those artists' connections, but you see some of the opening drops, they are artists, and a lot more of those will be coming, and they will, again, we'll slowly bring them in over time. But there's so much more to Rastafari, and that's why you see I bring a lot of the professionals, the frontline workers who have been on the background. You saw the live with Ras Sankara Tafari, a legendary book publisher. We just dropped that, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out.
So you know, so a lot of us were there, and that is where even the I had come up with the idea before, started thinking about Rastafari Speaks, and it's there now. I said to share the idea with Miguel and others, right? And that is from there. It started to germinate a little bit more, and then by the end of 1980 is when we decided to we launch Rastafari Speak sometime around November 1980. We put out November for the coronation. Right after the coronation, we launched the Rastafari Speak newspaper. I entitled it the Rastafari Speaks.
Mighty. You can see Raseku Tafari, you know, we talked about the Grenada Revolution. We talked about his work as a Black Power activist. Frontline books, Rastafari Speaks. These are seminal works in the Lion telling his own story. So even what I'm doing now is, you know, standing side by side with elders who have blazed the trails. We also interviewed Ras Miguel Lorne, Head Start Publishing, Rastafari attorney, before I, you know, mighty legacy of work in the Eastern Caribbean, in Jamaica, all over. So that interview is coming up.
I was born 1950. I was about 30.
Okay.
I was about 30. So their mother came along with us, and we went to the stadium to see His Imperial Majesty. It was very glorious for me, glorious.
Again, powerful works that are taking place, you know, so we're just getting started here when we talk about the Lion Voice Network. But again, this is a special episode, and before I jump into the episode, and this is how we're going to break down the episode, we're going to talk about the state of the union, or the state of the unity. We're gonna start with the channel. We're gonna give you some overviews, some highlights. Then we're gonna talk about Rastafari movements. We're gonna then go to Ethiopia and big up my Ethiopian followers. We have, you know, Ethiopia is now the second biggest territory because of the Ethiopia content that I've been doing. The Ethiopian brethren and sisters have been jumping into the comments. We've been having a vigorous debate, not always agreeing, but very respectful. So me big up every Ethiopian, Danasteling, in Deminish, in Demina, you know, all of them thing that we have to big up our Ethiopian Wandame Ehete throughout the world who have been tapping in. So we're going to talk about the state of Ethiopia a little bit. And then we're going to talk about the state of Africa. We're going to touch on some of the coup d'etat. I promise when building this channel, you know, as part of the line, I'm a Pan-African. And so we're not just dealing with Rastafari. We want to start increasing the Pan-African content on the channel. So we'll talk a little bit about the state of Africa, all of the coup d'etat in Africa. I'm planning a panel discussion. We're going to talk about Africa. I'm going to bring some notable Pan-Africanists on the platform. I have big guests, big things planned because I also have connections not only in the Rastafari movement but in the Pan-African movement, both here locally in DMV, Washington, D.C., Maryland, but also globally that we will be tapping into.
Ethiopia. We're destroying our great unity. Sons and daughters of Sheba, children of Abyssinia, who share the pride of Africa and the world all over. sweetest fruits. So don't forget your foundation, never forget your roots. Ethiopia, the land where the gods and the goddess love to be. Today it's so painful to see we're destroying our great unity. Sons and daughters of Sheba, children of Abyssinia, Kush, you're the pride of Africa and the world all over. Come on, come on, what's all this conflict about? Come on, it's time we work things out. The Solomonic dynasty will be restored as long as the sun and the moon and the stars endure. Ooh, yeah. Ethiopia, the land where the gods and the goddess love to be. Today it's so painful to see we're destroying our great unity. Sons and daughters of Sheba, children of Abyssinia, Kush, you're the pride of Africa and the world all over. The sun shall shine over Ethiopia forever, forever and ever and ever. The sun shall shine over Ethiopia forever,